every morning putting your shoes on is a huge chore. And then your stomach comes in the way. I couldn't tie my shoelaces. It was tough. It's very, very tough. As a son, I'm immensely overwhelmed. Also nervous because now he has to like the film as well. Well, my family is off limits. Say as you wish about me, I'm fair game. My daughter is out of bounds and I will not tolerate anybody saying anything about it. I live with far bigger comparisons in my life, so I don't have an issue with that.
That's true.
But also, what I would like to say is, I think Saswata's portrayal of Bob was fantastic, and I doff my hat off. It has to be something that excites both of us creatively, and we both would love to. We love working with each other, and we enjoy collaborating creatively as well.
Today, I'm joined by someone who is not just a talented actor, but also someone who continues to push the boundaries and is all set to enthrall us with Bob Biswas. And I'm extremely excited for it. Abhishek Bachchan joins me today on Bollywood Bubble. Welcome to Bollywood Bubble, Abhishek. Firstly,
thank you very much.
We have seen in the past few years, in fact, that you have been trying constantly to take up projects which are challenging in itself and take up challenging roles, be it Greed 2, even with Bob Biswas. It's a completely never seen before avatar when it comes to you, right? So is this a conscious effort on your part to pick up projects which are challenging in terms of acting for you?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the intention should always be to push the envelope, do work that you possibly haven't done before, and keep pushing the creative boundaries of what you're capable of doing. So yes, I'm enjoying this phase where I get to do a variety of different kinds of work, and I can't complain. Thankfully, makers have that belief that today that they can offer me any sort of a role, and hopefully I'll be able to do justice to it.
I read somewhere that you actually gained like 100 kg or 100 to 105 kg for the role.
No, I didn't gain 100 kilos. I became 100 to 105 kilos there.
Okay, was that difficult? Because I can only understand for an actor, especially.
It was very difficult and cumbersome. It wasn't pleasant. Yeah, carrying that kind of weight around is not good.
Do you recollect any day in particular which was very when it gets frustrating, especially with the weight, and when you're not used to carrying that sort of a weight on your body, it can get frustrating.
Every morning putting your shoes on is a huge chore. And then your stomach comes in the way. I couldn't tie my shoelaces. It was tough. It's very, very tough.
One of the things which I think as an individual, we always wait for or we crave for is praise from our parents. I know that, and they are someone who are very critical is what I believe. Like, they will pick on every small thing that you do. But I read that Mr. Bachchan, Amitabh Bachchan sir said something very beautiful about you, that I'm proud to say that you are my son. Tell me a bit about when you read that, how did it feel like?
Yes, of course. I'm over the moon. To get an actor of his caliber to even see your work is a very big deal. Needless to say, for him to write something as emotional as that. As an actor, I'm overjoyed. As a son, I'm immensely overwhelmed. Also nervous because now he has to like the film as well. So we hope that we've done justice and he enjoys the film as well. But overjoyed.
Are you someone who is very critical of your own performance, though?
Absolutely. Very, very critical. And I think most actors are. I think it's important. They need to be. I think that's possibly the only way to keep improving upon yourself. If you're critical of your past work, I watch my work very, very often. Every week I try and see an old film of mine and make notes of how I can improve. And that's all part of the process of trying to improve yourself as an actor.
Yeah. But do you ever sit back and because that also happens a lot, right? When you think that, oh my God, I could have done this so much better. And then do you delve upon it, or what is the process for you?
Absolutely. That's exactly how you arrive at improving yourself. Whenever you see a film that you might have seen in the past, you see it again, you should ideally find some way to have bettered yourself. If you do that, that means you're evolving as an artist.
Right.
So yes, I do. I really dislike a lot of my past work. So I just feel today when I revisit it, then I could have done so much more, so much better.
Right. Abhishek, I believe, and I know so many people who kind of think that you are one of those people who has such a huge potential when it comes to, and as an actor itself. But I kind of personally feel, you might correct me if I'm wrong here, but I personally feel that the kind of projects, I feel that there's so much potential untapped even today. Do you also sometimes feel that the right kind of project still doesn't come to you, or do you feel that that is not happening?
No, not at all. I mean, I took a bit of a sabbatical in between, and I came back. I've done Manmarsya. I followed that up with Breeze into the Shadows, and I had Ludo, and I had The Big Bull, and now Bob Biswas. I mean, those are 5 diametrically different characters. So I cannot complain at all. If anything, I'm very thankful that people think me worthy of such diversity.
Right. And how do you take criticism? Because that also, as an actor, and especially after having spent so much time in the industry, I'm sure you're sort of like immune, or you learn how to take criticism.
I hope I never become immune to criticism. I really hope I don't, because that's the best way to learn what you need to improve. I don't see why we should take criticism negatively. Why can't we see it through the prism of, okay, here's somebody telling me what I need to do to improve myself.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. That's the way I've always approached it. So I really hope I never get immune to it. I hope that it hurts each and every time. Because only when it hurts, you don't want to make the same mistake again and relive that emotion.
Correct. But sometimes people can get nasty, especially on social media. If they're attacking you, I think you can still take it, but sometimes they can also go on to the family, speak about your daughter. Sometimes I've seen those kind of trolls as well. Does that ever get to you?
Well, my family is off limits. Say as you wish about me, I'm fair game. My daughter is out of bounds, and I will not tolerate anybody saying anything about her, or my family for that matter of fact. They're my family. You're talking about my work. Stick to my work, stick to me. You can have whatever opinion you want about that. Don't drag my family. That is unacceptable.
Abhishek, another thing is, I will tell you something, okay? So whenever you step into someone, I'm sure that people will expect a certain thing, especially when you step into the shoes of someone who has already played a certain character, right? Because I remember, honestly admitting, when I recently watched Bunty and Bubbly, for me, I was a little like, I missed you as Bunty in it. An honest confession there. So I'm sure, are you ready mentally? Because there will be comparisons made with Saswata Chatterjee, who played Bob Biswas earlier. Are you mentally prepared that people will speak about it at some point?
No, I don't think about it. I live with far bigger comparisons in my life, so I don't have an issue with that. But also, what I would like to say is, I think Saswata's portrayal of Bob was fantastic, and I doff my hat off to him. What a fine performer, and the fact that on an 8-minute role, we're still talking about it 10 years down the line, goes to show the enormity of his talent and his contribution to that film. But watch Bob Biswas, it's a different film. It's a different interpretation. And I think once you see the film, you'll understand that it is a very different film. And it was intended as such. So I'm not so sure whether it is correct or fair to compare them, because, like I said, they're very different films. It's a different interpretation. It's a different team. But pass your verdict after watching the film.
I am very excited because I have never seen you like that before, and I feel that when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh my god, this is interesting. This is. When you say Bob Biswas, that in itself says how much you've worked on yourself to get that diction right, to get that character right, for me especially. Abhishek, lastly, I want to know from you that, it's been a while since we have seen, recently I was just checking that we have seen you and Aishwarya on screen together. Of course, there's a huge lineup that you have, and I'm very excited for all of it. But What is happening? Is there any plan whatsoever to come back on screen with her?
Well, right now there's nothing on the anvil. Obviously, it has to be something that excites both of us creatively, and
Correct,
that we both would love to. We love working with each other, and we enjoy collaborating creatively as well. And we look forward to it. But as of now, sadly, there isn't anything on the anvil.
Because I know there a lot of rumors come in sometimes कि ये film कर रहे हैं, वो film कर रहे हैं, and then we are like, क्या हो रहा है, कुछ पता ही नहीं है. But really,
right now, sadly, there's nothing.
But thank you so much, Abhishek. I'm really looking
my
forward.
My pleasure. Thank you
for
doing this. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the film.
Thank you. I will. I think I will from what I've seen in the trailer, and I'm sure everyone else will. But thank you so much. Lovely talking to you.